Hi, everybody. I'm Kent Reed. I'm the school counseling consultant, and I'm with Shannon Bigler, our school mental health consultant. And this is KSD's bully statute training for school districts. The purpose of this training is to convey a unified message from the Kansas State Board of Education, the Kansas State Department of Education, and partners regarding the implementation of the Blue Ribbon Task Force on Bullying Prevention recommendations. It's also designed to increase district and general public awareness of the Blue Ribbon Task Force recommendations, how to implement them, and knowledge to access the resources to do so. So let's talk about the Kansas bullying statute. It is KSA 726147. All right? It directs that district policies will be adopted, and you'll notice that it has a series of definitions. First, it defines what bullying is, and that is any intentional gesture or any intentional written, verbal, electronic, or physical act or threat, either by any student, staff member, or parent towards a student, or by any student, staff member, or parent towards a staff member that is sufficiently severe, persistent, or pervasive that such gesture, act, or threat creates an intimidating, threatening, or abusive educational environment that a reasonable person, under the circumstances, knows or should know will have the effect of, and then it lists several different effects. It also discusses cyberbullying and also any other form of intimidation or harassment prohibited by other KSA laws. Okay, continuing with the statute and the definitions found therein, it discusses what cyberbullying is, parent, school district or district, school vehicle, and staff member.
There are three important pieces that school districts need to be aware of when looking at this statute. The first is that each school district is required to develop a policy prohibiting bullying in the schools. The second is that school districts must have a plan to address bullying and how it impacts students. This plan must be communicated through training and education to staff members and students.
And in conclusion, the statute references several different legal details that are outlined on this slide.
As previously stated, local boards of education are required to adopt policies prohibiting bullying and cyberbullying in a school setting. This plan also requires new reporting and resolution processes be outlined.
Districts adopt and or develop a social-emotional learning curriculum that for anti-bullying purposes is prevention-focused, evidence-based, and contains a family engagement component. Digital citizenship competencies are also referenced in the statute. Digital citizenship is a holistic and positive approach to helping children learn how to be safe and secure, as well as smart and effective participants in a digital world. That means helping them understand their rights and responsibilities, recognize the benefits and risks, and realize the personal and ethical implications of their actions. So districts are to provide students and families with information on digital citizenship to assist students in making smart choices online and address cyberbullying conditions within the statute. It's important that districts establish common expectations. Districts, families, and communities establish common expectations with transparency, provide families explanations for incidents that do not qualify as a bullying incident within the schools, and you can reference the Kansas Association of School Boards letter, which is in Appendix C. Ensure families know the school's expectations for behavior. Yeah. Utilizing data to drive decisions is very important. Each school building collects data on bullying incidents from a minimum of 2 social-emotional data sources. KSD recommends that the Kansas Communities of Care Survey be one of those. It is a high-quality climate and cultural data source. Data and findings are presented annually to the local Board of Education. This is something that's new. We've never asked schools to do that. Districts are required to track incidents and report according to the KSDE discipline data collection process. The 4 types of bullying data collected are physical, cyber, verbal, and relational.
To assure policy implementation, each school district is required to give an annual update to their local boards of education regarding bullying, cyberbullying, the use of KSDE's social, emotional, and character development standards, and the bullying data. Starting with the 2021 school year, all district employees will be required to complete this training demonstrating the legal requirements of the bullying statute. Staff and students are also required to be trained on the specific district and local bullying policy. Additional training surrounding the content of bullying is optional and strongly encouraged. This slide includes optional training resources that would be developmentally and age appropriate for students, families, and staff. Please consider resources and the quality of them before training students with them. In order to assist districts with developing their bullying plan, a toolkit has been created. This toolkit is a standalone document on the bullying training website page on ksde.org. The training toolkit includes developing a plan for addressing bullying, building adult capacity to change climate and culture, curriculum and instructional resources, and measuring social emotional learning locally. Here is the Bullying Prevention Plan and Resources Toolkit. This toolkit includes 4 components. This is an example of one of the component pages. The Bullying Prevention Plan and Resources Toolkit can be utilized within building leadership teams or district leadership team levels. It describes each step for creating your plan and where you're at, who's responsible, the timeline, and the action steps needed. At the bottom of each section, you'll see suggested resources that will help you develop the plan. Districts are required to adopt and implement plans addressing bullying and cyberbullying, to adopt policies specific to your school district, bullying on property and school vehicles and school-sponsored activities, and adopt and implement plans to address bullying, including training and education for staff and students of both the local policies and this training presentation on the state requirements. Upon request, KSDE is available to assist school districts however needed.
Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions in reference to bullying prevention, the statute, you can contact either Shanna or I, and here is our contact information.